Oh, so it looks like we don't have an intro today. I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the intro. You ready? All right, let's go. Let's do the intro.
Yeah, it's CC, CEO. Wanna change your life? Come see me, yo. I'ma teach you how to build up wealth for your family, not just for yourself. I'm a bestseller, a house flipper, a businesswoman, a go-getter, a big investor, a goal builder that could teach you to get richer like millions, baby. You really about to fill your savings. You about to have multiple streams to pass your children, baby. Let me teach you to get your credit on track in the long run. You'll make it all back at Catalyst and watch it all psychology black-owned firm, but we ain't all black.
Everybody, good morning. It's your girl Constance Carter. What's happening? I see you guys come. Listen, I'm so appreciative of your loyalty, of you guys coming in every single day, my friends. I love it. You know, while the intro be coming on, and the reason why I really have to have intro, well, I love y'all, I really do, and I love my intro, I really do. But when I put on the intro, it gives me time because for some reason the software that we use, it doesn't make my Facebook page, and it's not on my Facebook right now. It doesn't make my Facebook page it doesn't make it public on my Facebook page. So while the intro is coming in, I go over there and I make it public on the Facebook page, which I'm trying to go on the Facebook page right now, and I don't even see it on my Facebook page. I don't even see the video on my Facebook page. But anyway, I'm going to try to figure it out. I'm going to try to work it out. Hey, happy Tuesday. Y'all, I'm so excited to be here. So you know how we do every single day. And I appreciate you because you could be anywhere else in the world, but you choose to be here with us today. And that makes me so happy. Like we already got, close to 100 people that have logged on. And we've been on less than a couple of minutes. 2 minutes, and we already got almost 100 people that are watching live from different platforms. So I appreciate it. Every time we come live, I love for you to talk back to me and talk black to me. So put in the comments, put where you are watching from, because I want to shout you out. That's number one. You already know. If you've been here before, you know the routine. Put where you're watching from in the comments because I want to shout you out. I saw you, Lovely JR. Lovely JR was sitting here even before we got on, like just faithful. You know what I'm saying? He was in the comments even before we got on. Sophia, you was in the comments before we got on. And I appreciate you guys coming in here, just rocking with us every day. Like that means the world. It really, really does. Because you could be anywhere else, but you choose to come and talk to me and Tiara and just share and engage and all that stuff. So it doesn't go unappreciated. That's for sure. The other thing is, if we're all about collective economics. So if you have a business, put it in the comments because we want, hey, what's up, H-Town? We want to, what's up, Compton? What's up, GMB Heth? We want to put your business in the comments because, of course, we got to practice collective economics. Right now, we are a target and we are at war with the powers that be. And so the only way that we're going to be able to make it out of whatever's going on in the world is if we support one another. We have to be our biggest commodities and our biggest investors in each other. So we want to support you. In the comments, put where you're watching from, where you're hailing from, not where you're watching from, what your business is. If you have a product, a service, or a business, put it in the comments because we want to put that, we want to shout out your business. We want to put it on the screen, okay? Because I don't know if you know, but I don't know what platform you are, but we typically have thousands of people that are watching us every single day. So when you put your information on there, we put it on the screen, you have the potential to be seen by thousands and thousands of people. So put your business on the screen. So put your business up so we can put it on the screen. Also, Tiara, my girl, my good girlfriend, she is creating a Black directory. We were talking about everything that's going on with, the DEI rollbacks and we were saying, what can we do? And I was like, we got to do it. We got to do it. Amazon. I was like, panicking. And she was like, hold up, let's just do a Black business directory. Okay. Let's just start off there. So if you have a Black business, put it in, send an email to info@realvirtual.net so that she can put your business in the Black business directory, because she's actually going to have the directory available for everybody as soon as she gets, enough businesses, but she's already doing matchmaking stuff. Okay. So make sure you do that. And as always, please text Constance to 87948 because a couple of things. You're going to get notified when I go live. Okay. But that's not all. I have some free gifts on there for you that you can, that I want to send to you. So text Constance to 87948 so that I can send you out some free gifts that you can know every time I'm doing a training, free training, all the things that we're doing. I want you to text Constance to 87948. Okay. So listen, before we get into this topic, and this is really important, y'all, make sure you subscribe to Fly Nubia Money, Boyce Watkins, all of his platforms that you're on, my YouTube page, and everywhere I am Constance Carter. Please make sure you subscribe. Please, 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 please follow me. Follow Miss Black Hollywood. But we're gonna have a really serious conversation. Share this with your friends and your family, because this is really critical to the development of us as a people, our young people, and all that stuff. What's up? What's up, Miss Etheline? We got to talk. We got to talk about Net 7 Collective, because I know you're ready to join Net 7 Collective. Let's have a conversation after my second podcast. I'll reach out to you. But I want to bring on my girl, the producer, the dope producer. You know how they used to say in the 80s, the dope producer. You know what? Miss Black. Damn. Oh, you know what? I had theme music for you before. I put that. I was like, don't. But then we got a strike. So boys,
yeah, so you can't. Don't do that. He was like, "Don't do that."
Try to do a little something, but yeah, we got a YouTube strike. So
we trying to get us shut down, y'all.
Right, I can't yet. So we don't have. I'm gonna get you a what do you call that? A royalty free theme.
Free.
So,
yes,
yeah,
there might be a little classical music, lo-fi.
Yeah, exactly. Random. Right. So Tiara, what did you do yesterday? How was your night after you left the Grow Your Money and you did your podcast? What did you do? Fill us in. What happened?
Okay, I went running, y'all, and I met with a client. I met with a client after, and it's so interesting. I was trying to help him put some things together for his vegan food truck that he is starting.
Okay.
So, we talked for about an hour. I gave him some good ideas on ways that he can really develop this thing out, and some connections that we could make once he gets to build it out. And then I went running. I was just, I've been trying to take time away from the internet. There's so many things happening online that it really frustrates me. It upsets my soul. And so I just got to get out in nature and breathe God's air and just know that, and center myself and let myself know it's going to be all right. And, I'm trying to lose some weight because, I'm shooting. I'm shooting a video next week for my first single, and Vanessa, one of our sister queens on Fly Nubia Money, is getting married, and I'm her bridesmaid. So I've been trying to.
Oh my gosh! I didn't know. Well, congratulations! Yes. Shout out to Vanessa. Congratulations!
Yes. She might be watching.
All right. Shout out to Vanessa. Congratulations, sis.
Yeah. So we went running yesterday because she's also like, girl, I got to be a size 1 before my wedding. You know how Black women are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we ain't gonna starve. She gonna eat celery, and that's it. Like that's all. That's on the menu. Yeah. I overstand.
Yeah. So we've been for the last couple months though, we've been really just like, okay, girl. All right, we just gonna get it out. We're gonna get up. We're gonna go to the gym. I mean, we always do anyway. We work out together pretty often. So
yeah, that's dope. Good. It's funny is all the queens. I love the queens from Fly Nubian Queen, right? So I don't know if you guys watch Fly Nubian Money. It's a bunch of us, and so I think I would say probably I'm the wild card. Right, I'm the wild card, and I just be saying some shit, right? So
I never know what she's gonna say ever. Go ahead.
I had not met a lot of the queens in person, so we went to All Black National Convention. I thought, like, since I have such a big personality, like I was gonna be like sunning everybody.
See, you see,
I know, right? I'm gonna be sunning everybody. I'm gonna be taller than everybody, and I'm just gonna be like, why was I the shortest one?
I'm talking about like the shortest. Trying to like all of us are 5'9" and taller.
Right.
Like 5 feet.
4.5. Don't play with me. Oh. And I'm like I'm like a regular woman size. Like I'm not like I'm the normal size of most women. You guys are just giants. And I didn't know. I thought I was gonna come up in here and I was like, yeah. And I was like, hi ladies. So upset. I was so upset. Like
she was, y'all. She was
everybody
really
was
upset.
Like this. I was like, oh my God. So y'all make sure y'all watch Fly Nubian Money so you can see all these big chicks. And I guess I gotta be like, Scrappy Doo. Like, I guess.
You big though. You big. Like you have a big presence. Like I can't Some of the queens can't match your presence, darling.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what'd you do last night? Let me know. Fill me in.
Okay, so yesterday, after on Mondays we have our Monday morning sales call for Catalyst, and so in the sales call they expressed that they wanted to learn CapCut. So when I do my videos, when I do my Black History videos, and like a lot of the videos that I put online, I edit them myself because I can do it really quickly. So I do it on CapCut. So I had a CapCut / Mid-Journey / Chat GPT training last night, which was a really fantastic meeting. And so I invited Net7. It was sort of last minute.
It was
I
because
know
I
it
was
was
like,
last minute.
I was running and was like, God dang it, I can't do it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, I have the video for you guys. So I edited the video this morning and I put it in the portal for you guys.
Okay.
But the Black History video that I have coming on today, I just showed them. I walked through how to edit the Black History video. So anyway, let me show you. So I know I normally do the Black History video last, but let me just show you what I'm talking about, just so you can kind of see. So I walked through this. So now these ladies are proficient and they know how to do something like this. Watch. Today we are celebrating the brilliance, resilience, and wealth building powerhouses of Black Wall Street. That's Greenwood, Tulsa. This wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a thriving Black economy built by visionaries who knew the power of ownership and community wealth. Let me introduce you to some of the giants who made Black Wall Street what it was. First up, we have O.W. Gurley, the mastermind behind it all. Gurley bought 40 acres of land and said, "This is for us." He sold land only to Black families, laying the foundation for Black Wall Street. He built businesses, including a successful grocery store and a boarding house, creating opportunities for others to build and thrive. Then there's J.B. Stratford, a lawyer who built the luxurious Stratford Hotel. Imagine that. During segregation, when we weren't allowed in most hotels, Stratford created a top-tier hotel for Black travelers. He didn't wait for permission, he created solutions. And then we can't forget A.J. Smitherman, who used his voice to empower our people through the Tulsa Star, one of the first Black newspapers in Oklahoma. He didn't just report news, he fought for our rights and encouraged economic independence. And then there's Simon Barry, a transportation tycoon. When public transportation failed us, Barry stepped in. He owned a bus line that served Black residents, making sure our community could move freely and efficiently. Lastly, let's honor Dr. A.C. Jackson, a world-renowned surgeon praised by the Mayo brothers for his unmatched skill. Despite his success, he was tragically killed during the 1921 massacre, but his legacy of excellence lives on. These pioneers weren't just building businesses, they were building legacies. They remind us that wealth is more important than money. It's vision, it's courage, and it's community investment. As we honor them, let's continue their work by building our own wealth unapologetically. We are woke. We're wealthy, outstanding, knowledgeable, and empowered. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this to someone who needs to know this Black excellent gem. Yo, yes. So I taught them how to do that, right? So I went step by step. I showed them how to do Chat GPT to kind of do their research. Uh-oh. You can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? You can't hear me?
Blah, 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 can you hear me? Wait.
Yeah, my audio is on. Y'all can hear me, right?
I can't hear her.
Can y'all hear me? Beautiful Constance. Hold on. Do they hear me? Y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Yes, they can hear me. It's you. It's you. It's you. It's you, Tiara. It's you. Yeah, they can hear me. Same thing. Girl, get the thing out your ear. Your ear. It's your ear. So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, is thank you guys. I'm glad y'all can hear me. What I did is I showed the ladies and my agents how to use CapCut, how to use Chat GPT for your research, and then how to use Midjourney, which is where I get a lot of my my illustrations, and how to use DALL-E, and just different tricks on how to use it to edit and create jaw-dropping videos. So what I've done is I've taken that this morning. Listen, I'm quick, y'all. So I've taken that and I've uploaded to the Grow Your Money Club. I edited it down to where you get the most out of that training, and I added it to the Grow Your Money Club. And so for all the members of the Grow Your Money Club, if you want to learn how to create your own jaw-dropping videos, go to the Grow Your Money Club. You can actually get it as part of the Grow Your Money Club series, like the journey, the membership, or you can purchase this a la carte for only $97. But it is fantastic. It'll change your life. In fact, Jahari, who's actually backstage right now, she was like, oh my God, thank you so much for doing this training. I just went through it and it's already amazing. So if you're interested, go to growyourmoney.club if you want to learn how to create a video just like that. I walk you through the entire, I did the voiceover, like all of that stuff. So, but
I love that. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we still got to get your website. We got to get that thing on your website. So yeah. Don't think I forgot.
Hold up though. I love that because as soon as I got that text message, I said, you know what? Constance just keeps inspiring me, right? Because from day to day, I don't think like, oh, you know what? I should just put together a training for this or this. I'm so focused on the Fly Nubian Money Club, but there's these offerings that, there's these things I could teach y'all, like just on a random Tuesday as well. Because I know a lot of things too.
You
so
do.
I just had to, I do. And so I just had to just know I see you. I see you.
And that's the whole point and that's what we were talking about yesterday, right? Remember we were talking about having side hustles, the things that you know well, how you could take it and you can monetize it. So this is something I could do like that, right? I do cap cut all the time. I do videos and I do, I could take that and I could help other people to be able to do the same thing and monetize it and make money from it. Y'all can do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's not a hard thing to do. So I'm glad you're inspired. Hopefully everybody else is inspired to do the same thing. This goes with what we were talking about yesterday. So I love y'all. Yeah, Sophia, it is going to be in the gym in Grow Your Money Club. So today, I read this letter, Tier, and I was upset. I was pissed off to the highest specificity. I don't know if you guys have been following what's going on with the Board of Education, but there's this dear colleague letter that was written from the U.S. Department of Education, the acting administrator of the Department of Education. And it's got some serious implication for our schools, especially for our HBCUs. This letter is basically a reminder that discrimination based on race, color, or national origin is supposedly illegal, but only if it helps elevate anybody other than white people, right? So it critiques race-based admissions, scholarships, and even programs designed to help Black students succeed. So I want to break it down today because when I read it, if you go even to the first paragraph, like you could hear the anger in the voices. Like this is the stroke of the pen of white supremacists who are entitled, who are saying that basically anything other than white privilege is discrimination. And we just trying to get by. You know what I'm saying? Even with the HBCUs, we ain't trying to hurt nobody. We just trying to have our education. Y'all don't want us in your schools. That's fine. And I say, listen, y'all don't want us to go to PWIs. You want to, increase the criteria. You don't want to give us access and admissions and have, any type of affirmative action or anything like that. Okay, that's cool. Let us go to HBCUs. But now you want to even take the funding away from HBCUs. And that's the thing is like, can we at least get something? And so I wanted to break down. Wait, Tiara, you went to an HBCU, right?
Yes, I'm a proud graduate of Xavier University of Louisiana.
What was that experience like for you?
It was like nothing that I could really explain. There's something about being on campus with other people that look like you, that are smart and ambitious and resilient, and I don't know, you just feel comfortable, right? Because at that time, I don't know if you knew this, but I was sent to Minneapolis to live with a family member, and actually, in Minneapolis, I'm not saying like it's not. I was in Minneapolis, so it's Black, right? But outside of that, you have to deal with just predominantly just white. It's a white state, right? So to go back to the South after that, and to be around in the middle of all these beautiful Black people and Black faculty and people that were supportive, it's just like it helps you. It gives you a grounding of who you are as a Black person. It's like you're able to be set in somewhere that's that nourishes you and helps you flourish, and you feel at home, and you just really get your grounding. I actually recommend that. Lauren wants to go to Howard because her dad went to Howard, whatever. But I wanted her to go to Xavier, but what I know she'll get from that experience is a grounding. Like, she'll learn what it means to be a Black woman just from being around her peers. She'll learn how to operate in this world and learn from people who are striving for excellence. We are the number one. Xavier University is the number one Black institution that's known for sending African Americans to med school. So and then it's like we had a pharmacy school on campus, just Black doctors everywhere. Most of my friends are doctors or lawyers or pharmacists, or
Wow.
and here
Wow.
I am, like gynecologists. I mean, physical therapy, all of that.
Yeah.
And I just think it's also a great place to network if you're going to go to college. I think it's one of those places where you can always look up, and I can, like I said, always call my friend who's a doctor and ask questions about my fibroids or whatever is happening, because we have or connection. One of my six figure offerings of job offers came from somebody that I went to school with. He was
Right.
like, "Yo, come through. Like, I got you. Here's the offer letter. I'm gonna just send it to you." So
Look.
you can't get that anywhere else. But that was my experience going to an HBC.
No, and that's so
Rich.
I don't have many regrets in life. I
Mm-hmm.
don't regret the marrying the wrong person. I don't regret doing some of the wrong things and engaging with some of the wrong people. The only regret that I have in life is that I didn't go away to an HBCU.
Yeah.
And I've always said this to my children. And so my kids were like, I was always telling, like, since they were little, they know, like, that's next step for them, because I
Yeah.
want them to get that experience more so than even the learning. It's the
Yeah.
network. It helps them to grow up, right? It helps them, just like you say, get
Yes.
grounded and rooted in who they are. And my
Yes.
kids, one of the things that they say, because my son said he was mad at me for a long time because he felt like I pushed him to go there, because he was like, well, what if I go to junior college? Negro, you're not. And you're not going
Yeah.
to a UC, and you're going to an HBCU. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just what it is. And
Yeah.
so he said he was mad at me, but he said it was the best decision that he'd ever made.
Ever.
And he's like, you see, it makes me want to do better. I see
Yes.
Black excellence around me every single day. And it
Yes.
makes me want to do better. It makes me want to strive. Like, if they can do it, I can do it too. And then
Yep.
you have people from all walks of life. So you have people who come from the poorest of the poor, right?
Yep.
So my son's roommate, he came from New Orleans. He came from the streets. He
Yep.
barely made it, and he came in there. He also has friends whose parents are judges and doctors and
Yep.
own, palaces and things like that. So the gamut is very, very wide, and the experience to see Black people in every different facet of life is right there in front of you. As to where my kids came when they were definitely minority, right? It was mostly Hispanic, mostly white, and everybody else being from California. And then they go and they see this and they're like, whoa. And now that when they go back home, they're like, this some bullshit, right? Because now they didn't see what excellence personified looks like.
Yes.
So to have, those institutions be under attack, it just does something to me. It's like, y'all don't have to do this. Like, just allow us to be. But it's like there's an attack on Black institutions. You already don't want to set your college. That's fine. But you don't have to take away the funding from ours, because listen, Black students are less. Based upon where we are. I'm sorry. Damn. Okay. What I was saying, dang, you can't see Tierra frozen. You couldn't hear me. What I was saying, y'all, is that Black students are way less likely to receive access to college prep courses than their white peers, than their white counterparts. Only 57% of our kids have access to advanced math. You can hear me now, right? Okay. 57% of our kids have access to advanced math and science classes, compared to 71% of white students. How are we supposed to compete if we don't even get to a seat at the starting line? We're not even there. We're nowhere around there. I'm gonna go ahead and take Miss Black Hollywood off until she can get her stuff together until she come back on here. How are we supposed to compete? You back? You back? That was
You know what? I couldn't hear you, but I thought it was me.
no, it
But
was me.
everybody
But
could,
you were
because I was
frozen.
like, I said, let
But
me get out of here and come back in. And
but you were
sorry.
frozen. You were frozen.
Yeah, because I
Um,
left. I'm sorry.
okay,
Go
okay,
ahead.
okay, okay.
You were saying.
No, I was just saying that, it doesn't stop there. Our babies are being pushed out of the classroom and into the system, right? So Black students make up only 8% of total student populations, but 25% of all out of school suspensions. They have less. If you ever read the book by Kawanza Juzun, Kawanza,
That got you in a chokehold. What?
Kawanza, can Kawanza, the conspiracy to destroy Black boys, to destroy Black. I always get his name mixed up. It's Jawanza Kunjufu. Kawanza, what is it? What's the name of the book? Jawanza Kunjufu. I said Jawanza Kunjufu. There's a book called The Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys. And it talks about how there is actually a conspiracy in these school systems to criminalize Black boys. And when you look at the percentage of the out of school suspensions, like we're and they, when they did studies based upon this, even in the school district that my kids went to in Stockton, California, and in Lodi School District, they did a study on this, and it showed the biases within the schools, that they are more likely to suspend Black students over the same things that they will give a pass to white students, right? So then you have this prison the pipeline. So it's just all of these things that are going against us, and then you have the nerve to get here on your high horse, and you could just it feels so. This letter, and I want you all to read it. It's called Dear Colleague. Okay, this letter, it was filled with like just hatred and saying, we're not going to discriminate, and it's basically like, if it doesn't cater to whiteness, if it doesn't cater to white males specifically, but if it doesn't cater to whiteness, then it's wrong. And that's what we're seeing, specifically within this administration.
It's gaslighting. We see gaslighting. They're gaslighting us. Like, it's so strange. Go ahead, Constance.
No. Talk
reading
about
this
gaslighting.
feels like a gaslight. Like,
yeah.
What are we even talking about in terms of like, do we know the way that America was structured and the disadvantages that are in place and the systemic oppression and racism that exists? So to write something like this feels incredibly insensitive and almost like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Like, what is this? Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's frustrating.
No, it's very frustrating. It's gaslighting to the 10th degree, because you know that there's racial biases in these schools, in the education system. You know that schools that that are in Black areas are underperforming at a significant level, because we don't have the same funding as our white schools. There's so many things that go against us, and then we try to compete on the level when we're not getting the same education, the same level of education. So then you're expecting us. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
You're expecting us to compete. Yeah, you're expecting us to compete on the same level as these white kids when we're not getting. White kids aren't inherently smarter. They just have more access to more resources. In my TED Talk, I even talk about that. How they have $32 billion more in funding than you do at schools with minority children, white schools. So you have these schools with these Olympic size, just an excess of money and funds that go to these schools with a lot of money, where you don't then you have schools that are impoverished, and they don't even have the books, and they have mold, and you have rat feces and the things that these kids in lower socioeconomic areas have to deal with. And then you say, we're not going to allow you to have any kind of equity or opportunities because this is not fair to white people.
This is what you say. You say, in recent years, American educational institutions have discriminated against students on the basis of race, including white and Asian students, many of whom come from disadvantaged backgrounds and low-income families. What are you talking about? Right?
Yo.
Like, that's what it says.
Yeah. The gaslighting,
No.
just like you said, is real. So
So now the white people are disadvantaged. The Asians are so. What does that mean for black people, y'all? And I'm asking in the chat because I don't know the people that are agreeing with this administration. I know y'all. Some of y'all are here in the chat. Help
somebody
me
got to explain this
understand.
to us,
Help
please.
me understand where is because here's the thing, Constance. And I was talking to a friend yesterday about this. Um, she was telling me basically that her husband was like, I think we have to have an exit strategy for living in America right now.
That's
Like
what
we
they
need to have
want. You know that's what they want, right? You know that's
is
what
that
they
they want us to leave. They want
yeah.
us to leave, right? And
Mm.
so, but in or I mean, because here's a black man that says, I've never been fearful to live in America before. I've always thought, like, I mean, it's cool. It's not going to affect us. But we're looking around at all this divisive language. We came across a meme that was like, oh, if I see a black man working as a pilot, it's a DEI hire. Like when those become memes and things being like pushed around on the internet in passive language, I just think it fuels this chaos, this division, this hatred, right? And I'm not fear mongering at all, but it does feel like either we're being set back, if this administration
Intentionally.
sets us back, right? In terms of just the way we look at each other, like you said earlier that a dictator, that's what they do. They create chaos and division among the people to so they can do what they do, so they can dictate, right? And so they cause confusion, make us hate each other, make us want illegals to leave and black people not to have any rights. um it just makes me wonder how far back we'll have to get where we were, right? If this is right, if we for the next 4 years, let's just say we're set back 10 years, will it take us 30 years to get back to the place that we're at before Trump was in office, right?
Yeah. Yeah. He's trying
um
when he talked about making America great again, and first time around, he didn't get to make America the way he wanted to. This time around, he is absolutely making America exactly what he wants it to be. They wanted that, these people are afraid of the browning of America, right? So they know that, in maybe in the next 50 years, they're going to be the so really, really, really minority, with that's the reason why they're scaring you about illegals coming in, raping your women. This is what they did about black people. They said black people were raping the women and black men were, doing all these things. And it gave them justification for burning down our towns and hanging our men and doing the things that they did. They're doing the same thing with the quote unquote illegals. And so when you have that, it's all fear based. They do not want to see themselves because what they think is we're going to do the same thing to them that they've done to us, and they
Enslavement.
don't like it. I'm gonna give you a moment because my son did call me like 5 times in a row. I want to just give you a moment to just do some commentary real quick. I'm gonna get off real quick, okay? Because he keep calling me.
Okay, okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. Hey y'all, hey, so let's talk about this though. I mean, what is in your opinion, like what does this mean for our future? What does this type of I'm really concerned about the way that we've been, the language that's being used against black people. Like what will we need to do to really um just keep things at least stable or not feel threatened in our own country? I want to know how you guys feel about that and what you guys think. While I don't know if actually, let me just read some of the document, like while she's gone, because I'm off the cuff right now and I wasn't expecting for her to get off. So it says, Dear colleague, discrimination on the basis of race, color, or national origin is illegal and morally reprehensible. Sorry. Accordingly, I write to clarify and reaffirm the non-discrimination obligations of schools and other entities that receive federal financial assistance from the United States Department of Education. This letter explains and reiterates existing legal requirements under Title V of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Equal Rights Protection Clause of the United States Constitution, and other relevant authorities. So basically, I was going to go through the whole. I wasn't going to go through the whole thing,
Oh,
but
go
I just
ahead.
wanted to start reading some of what it says. In recent years, American educational institutions have discriminated against students on the basis of race, including white and Asian students. many of whom from disadvantaged backgrounds and low-income families. Some bullshit. These institutions um, these institutions embrace of pervasive and repugnant race-based preferences and other forms of racial discrimination have emanated throughout every facet of academia. For example, colleges, universities, and K through 12 schools have routinely used race as a factor in admissions, financial aid, hiring, training, and other institutional programming. In a shameful echo of a darker period in this country's
That right
history.
there, that right there, and a shameful echo of a darker period when Black people couldn't get the same education as they could right now, and a shameful echo of a darker. Are you fucking serious, Daddy? I'm sorry, I gotta say it. My daddy got mad at me the other day. I got going off on Sunday, but listen, are you freaking serious right now? Okay, are you a shameful? You are really comparing the
this period
and the systematic racism that Black people have gone through in the education system. We couldn't even go. It was not separate but equal. So you're really comparing that to segregation and subjugation, the things that we had to go through as Black people. So basically, HBCUs are now going to have to say, okay, they're going to have to reassess their admissions and their financial aid policies to ensure they're inclusive and don't inadvertently disadvantaged students of other racial backgrounds, which they already don't. Anybody can go to an HBCU. Anybody can go to an HBCU, but now now with our scholarships being at stake for the ones that are funded by the federal government, where does that leave those children? Right? So there, when you talk about the celebration of different ethnicities and all of those things, and do you know that in some of those PWIs, they removed Black history, Latino, everything that wasn't white, but they allowed the white clubs to stay.
I mean, people still celebrated President's Day yesterday, but we've taken Black History Month off the table. So everything, I don't know if you guys knew that, but basically Google removed anything that had to deal with anything outside of whiteness. Right? They removed Black history. They removed like LGBT. They removed Pride Month. They removed any type of Native American and anything that celebrates diversity. Google has removed it from the calendar. And so that just lets you know things like that concern me, because in really the question is like, are there investors? Because what I saw a lawsuit that's against Target right at this moment. Like there's a civil suit against Target for all the DEI stuff, right? And I wonder if they're feeling pressure from investors to go along, to get along, or is there something that we're not seeing from the administration that's putting pressure on these companies to flip, or is everybody really just flipping because this has really been what's in the water? I don't think so. I think that there's some type of like incentive, or there's some type of repercussion that they will have to face if they don't flip.
Right.
Do you think? I mean, what do you think about that?
No, there has to be, but also you got to think about when these companies really started integrating DEI into their culture of their businesses, right? And if they did it after George Floyd, then it was like it wasn't real. And I think about companies that I work for in the Silicon Valley, like HP. HP celebrated diversity before it was cool. The HP way was they're very employee centric, and that's the way those are the nuggets that I took. When I opened up my company, is just really celebrating diversity, celebrating different people, different cultures, all of those things. I think it's important. Yeah. We can celebrate white people. There's not a problem. There's nothing wrong with celebrating white people, as there's nothing wrong with celebrating Hispanics or celebrating African. There's nothing wrong with celebrating the differences and to show how you could bring us together in a unified manner, because we do see race. And when you say this is like what's this motherfucker's name? Trump said this is going to be a raceless society, meaning But then you have people in your cabinet that says we need white men in leadership that'll at the same time. So you're really not interested in seeing a raceless society. You're really interested in seeing a white superiority society. And basically this is what's happening. Trump is bringing all of these things to the forefront to let you know that we don't give a damn. And it's really what, like you were saying earlier, Tiara, when you talk about all of the divisiveness, it's these are some things that probably were maybe brewing deep down on the inside of some people. Some people were blatantly racist, and some people may have had a little bit of inkling of that, but this really kind of exacerbated that. And so now whatever inkling that they were feeling, because this is, they started looking at Fox News and all of the the fake news and all of the lies and all the propaganda that's being spilled, and they start to adopt that thing, and now they're being indoctrinated with these ideals, and so now the power that be, again, they can have us fighting against each other, because now there's this mistrust, this distrust. You can't trust anybody but me. You're going to vote against your own best interest because I hate you so much that I just want to vote for them because I hate you. So
what does that look like for our children? So I think I'm just concerned about the kids, right? So if you take away everything that celebrates diversity now, our future generations will struggle with that. Well, I mean, it's literally how we go backwards. Maybe right now everybody's, you're fear mongering. We're not going to go backwards now. It's only 4 years. All of that, right? We got that right now, but we have to really think about the future of this country, and it's already exhausting enough to live in America. So yesterday we had a conversation on Fly Nubian Money, and it was basically like you know um products like hair products, lotions, oils, all of those things have harmful ingredients that are targeted more towards Black women. 70% more targeted, 70% more to Black women than white women, right? That's a lot, right? So we were talking about that, and the way it was described was like environmental racism. And I thought, damn, I didn't even consider, right? Because I moved to Los Angeles from New Orleans, right, where Hurricane Katrina was an environmental injustice or racism, like, to me, right? But I didn't consider that the things that we put on our skin, the creams that the ingredients that they are putting in these creams and the perms and all the things are really impacting our health. And so I say that to say that it's the small things. It's like from the blatant things to like the very small things. And yesterday I absolutely felt exhausted, Constance. I felt exhausted. So when we were having the conversation as we were walking, running, I said, well, what does it look like to live outside this country? Is it so bad for us to put together an exit strategy, or like live somewhere else, or have dual citizenship somewhere else where we don't have to look over our backs about like and constantly be thinking about our color? Can we go somewhere and live in peace? I was talking to our Queen Lala about her living in Portugal. She said, I don't miss America. I feel a sense of peace. Like I don't have to go outside and be like discriminated against, or nobody's purposely targeting me. So y'all, what's so bad about having dual citizenship, or maybe considering moving somewhere else? Like, is this because America's exhausting at this point? This is something to consider.
that's definitely something that I've considered more now than I've ever considered in my life. The idea of possibly going somewhere else out of the country. Now I feel like, well, if I can move, across the country for my family, then yeah, a few more hours may not be so bad, because you're absolutely right. When you gotta, when you talk to like Athena, she says, when in Jamaica we don't have to think about being Black.
That's what she said.
Right. But here we have to think about our race 24/7. And they say, that we always play the race card. You have not been a minority. It's funny because I remember when I had a friend I worked with at AT&T, this white chick, her name is Stephanie. And I invited her and her husband to my daughter's birthday party. And when they walked up, everybody was already there. Now, her husband I later found out he's a stone cold racist. Like, he did not like Black people, but, she dragged him along over there. And, she was my friend from work, and she was probably a racist too, but we were friends at work. Anyway, She comes to my house and they walk up, and you could see the level of uncomfortability that they had as soon as they walked up and they saw all those Black people. They
Mm.
were extremely, now, we over there just chilling, having a good time, drinking, having, it's like nothing. We just having fun. But when they walked up, they felt this level of uncomfortability because they had never been in that situation where they were the minority. And that is how it is to be us at all times, right?
Mhm.
A lot of times we're the minority. We always have to, check our surroundings. We've grown accustomed to it because it's just what it is, right? We've been in situations, but they are rarely in situations where they are the minority. And when they are, boy, do they feel uncomfortable. They
Yeah.
don't like it. And then they tell us, well, you stop playing the race card. Well, we have to be Black 24/7.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I co-produced one of the very first, to me, it was a podcast back in 2013, and I didn't had I known that this was going to be a thing, but we used to get in and have these conversations. It was called On the Real with Miss Black Hollywood, or Tiara. At the time, I was Tiara, and so I had a co-producer who was Asian. And so our conversations used to always, they were obviously geared towards the Black community. So every conversation used to always link back to racism. And so one day we were sitting and he was like, I think at some point we have to stop linking our conversations back to racism, because I feel like it all like sounds like the same conversation we're having over and over again. And I said, oh, wow.
Celebration.
Okay. Hey, I said, what you don't understand though, Wayne, is that this is our experience. Like everything does link back to racism, because with the level of trauma that we have, everything, the Black experience, everything is wrapped around, it's related, it's linked. Everything, all of our traumas go back to that part of our history, or to Jim Crow, or to, so it's always something negative. He was like, man, it's just exhausting. I said, imagine how we feel. So I can't,
24.
unfortunately, I can't go with you and say we can't talk about racism anymore on the show, because
Everything leads
sorry.
back. Right. It's our reality.
Yeah.
And so, for people to, like, even on my Black History posts. So if you go to my Facebook, I am Constance Carter. I have a business page, and some white person said it's racist to have Black History Month. Why don't we have White History? Y'all still saying that? Y'all
That's
still,
crazy.
like, y'all still don't understand why we need to have things like this, is because of what we have to deal with every single day, what we've contributed. And a lot of the things, the reason why my posts are going viral on there is because a lot of these things that people don't even know about Black history. They have no
Yes.
idea, because
Yes.
these are things that have not been exposed. You will
Yeah.
never know that Black people invented anything, because it's not, those stories aren't told.
Yeah.
History is, he who writes history is the one who can tell the story. He who
That's
wins
right.
writes history.
Yep.
So our history has been whitewashed. We don't know anything about our history. And that's why going to these HBCUs is so imperative to, to building the confidence of our Black youth.
Yeah.
And then somebody in the comments said it. They said, if we take all of our kids out of these PWIs, shit, I can guarantee, because money talks.
Mm.
Just like Deion Sanders got millions of dollars when he went over to Colorado. Money talks. Pull all those kids out of, all those athletes out of these PWIs, and see how quickly they change their DEI policies or their
Mm.
affirmative action policies. See how quickly they change those things if Black kids decided that, you know what, I'm gonna go over here. See how quickly we'll get the funding that we need, right? Because people are going to come to these college games. You're going to start, you'll see a whole shift. But,
I hope that we do that. When
I
when
pray
when I start
maybe
seeing
this is
more
time.
athletes commit to Black universities, like it really makes my soul happy. But like having like Mike Vick and Deion Sanders go to these different colleges, they're now, there is a momentum around that. So I'm hoping that we see more of that, and we just can see it, because we've been talking about the issue all hour, but what is the solution? Like, what is the solution to the letter that we see right here? Because this is, as upset as you are and as frustrated as you are, this is the reality of where we're going. We
This
are
is
being gassed. This is the reality. So what do we do about the reality? Do we run? Do we get dual citizenship? Do we
All of it.
do we educate? I mean, well, obviously we educate our own children.
Yeah.
What do we do, y'all? This is a
It's so
real
many
thing.
things. And in the comments, like y'all help us with the solutions because this is a dialogue and not a monologue. So we don't have all the answers. I will say a couple of things though. Like when we see like people with money support your HBCUs. You know, people who are giving these big what do you call them? What do you call them? Endowments to colleges. Like remember a few years ago when Dr. Dre was under fire, I think he gave like I don't know, something $50 million, $100 million to USC.
Yeah.
And all these black colleges with a broken down, dilapidated buildings that, you know, that could have used them, right? But you're giving it to the PWIs. Also, by the way, when you talk about the funding that these HBCUs receive, they found like even in Florida, but that's just one place where black colleges were supposed to get the same amount of funding as these PWIs, they weren't giving it to them anyways.
Yeah.
They still weren't given, even with these mandates in place, we still weren't getting the funding that we were supposed to be getting. When they audited, they found out that we still weren't even getting the funding we were supposed to be getting. So so the funding, we're not even getting the funding that we're supposed to be getting, and you're gonna take that away anyways, and they're not even giving us the funding that we're supposed to be is just crazy.
Yeah.
So, you know, these endowments, you know, start supporting HBCUs. Talk to your kids, especially if you have, you know, kids that are athletes that are really, really great athletes, direct them to go to HBCUs. They may not, you know, they may not get the same visibility, but I tell you what, if they would become the leaders and people start to follow them, we'll start to see a chain reaction of more students going to HBCUs. Kids from college are still going to, you know, go on to play professional sports. So it's not stopping them from being able to get into the NBA, NFL, or anything else. But I would say that people with money, like celebrities, you know, I implore them because they have a lot of, you know, power, they have a lot of access, they have a lot of influence, and they have a lot of money. Support HBCUs, right? Even more so. But like even on a local level, if you're a lot of, you know, you're in California, I'm from California, we don't have HBCUs in California.
Yeah.
And so you know, what's going to happen to those? Oh, you know, Sacramento has a friend of mine, he's the president of Sacramento, and they have a HBCU facing it's HBCU centered college that they have there, and I'm wondering what's going to happen with the funding there with everything that's going on with the Department of Education. It's like an HBCU, but it's you know, with Sacramento State. But anyway, so
I just wonder how they'll be able to. I guess the question is, I never expected, and this is just really my naivety. I just never expected that they would be able to do this in the way that it's been done, right? Like I thought that there was laws in place. I said, you know, Trump is the president again. Okay, how bad can it be? How much can he enforce? You know, how much can he change? Right, like in 4 years. I mean, shit. In the first month, he's literally.
Yo, it is crazy. I mean, if this man was able to pardon like actual criminals who and oh, by the way, a police officer actually died after January 6th. Like somebody was killed. And these were criminals that they know that they have recorded. Like this man is able to pardon actual criminals. He's doing whatever
it's the great reset.
That's
do
what
we need a reset?
In that way.
Do we need a reset? Because that's interesting, right? I could see how, you know, them coming in. If they, again, I say this all the time, if they had a plan, and if I can trust the people at the top, and I knew they weren't racist, and they had a plan, and they had a plan in place, because these are not smart individuals. I don't trust that, you know, they're just making decisions and going, like, even if the system collapses, they don't have anything to replace it because they just want to take it away and let that be that. So I guess my question is, I could see the need to lean out the government in a sense of like, you know, spending, you know, frivolous spending. But Constance, what type of reset is this, sis?
Yeah, I was when you talk about reset, you know, when I think about it, I'm like, okay, the government, okay. I mean, you know, the government needs a reset, right? Like what's been going on, how do you change? How do you make real change if it's the same thing?
Yeah.
But when it starts to affect us, That's what I have a problem with, right? So we know there needs to be a reset of government, but
Right.
when you're directly targeting us is
Yeah.
when I have a problem. That's where the real problem is when it's directly affecting us. And so I can't get with it. You can't. So if you are black and you support this and you support taking away any type of equity program so that we can have a fair shake, I can't fuck with that. I can't
Yeah.
rock with that. And just like Victoria said, shout out to Victoria, Net 7 Collective. She said small donations even help
Yeah.
these HBCUs. So if you got extra, I'm supporting HBCUs by sending my kids to college at
Yeah.
HBCUs. So they
I
are
gave
getting
an
my tuition.
HBCU.
Right.
Yes.
They are getting my tuition.
Yes.
And that's another thing too. I was just having a conversation with you last week that, with me, even I was feeling some kind of way because I have 3 kids. My daughter went to an HBCU. I have 2 in the HBCU right now, right? And so my daughter, paid, $120,000. I paid out of college. None of my kids have scholarships. And my oldest son, I'm not in the same financial situation I was a few years ago when I was able to pay for my daughter, because I have 2 kids in college. I just moved and, went through a divorce and lost a bunch of money. And so my son is now contemplating joining the National Guard so he could pay for his college, which is like, I feel like a failure as a parent, because I'm just like, oh my God. But then you take away any opportunity that he may have at his HBCU, because what do they say? It's what was that? What did you read in that first paragraph where he said it was like, it's whatever those strong words were. So you're
Oh,
talking about my son.
oh,
What
you
did
mean the dark
go back
era?
to the
What
dark
is
age? Yeah. What did he say right before that?
uh,
In that strongly worded letter.
in the shameful echo, or before that?
Yeah, right there, right there. And the
Okay.
shameful echo of what? A dark what?
In a shameful echo of a darker period in this country's history, many American schools and universities even encourage segregation by race at graduation ceremonies and in dormitories and other facilities.
Mhm, 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 mhm. The reason why, and we didn't start the segregation, y'all did. We just gave opportunities for our children.
Come on, what are we talking about?
What are we
And
talking about here?
there was white people at Xavier, but a lot of people came from overseas. Like there was white people that went there.
Yeah. Oh
It's not like we say you can't come here.
yeah.
It's like we're gonna have this place for us so we can nurture us, so we can get our foundation, so we can feel good about us, because there's something so magical, y'all, about being in a space where you feel like home and you don't have to always worry. Like in the workplace, I read an article the other day that said the workplace is actually a corporate workplace is actually a dangerous place for a black woman, right? So if every space you go in, you constantly have to code switch or think about like, oh, is my hair, do I need to straighten my hair, or should it be, is this afro too much, or my locks too black, is my skin, am I speaking the right way, am I using slang, am I, you know what I mean? Like it's all of those pressures to just, in those environments you could just be like,
Right. Right. You could just relax and be you and enjoy in an environment where you don't have to feel um where you don't have to feel like an outsider, like an outcast, where you don't have to feel like you're in danger, and we've seen a lot of those PWIs where, black kids were coming in to the library and they were being harassed and what are you doing here and all of those things. So it's the things that we just have to deal with. And so he's saying that, basically it's a shame that we are separating ourselves and segregating ourselves. But sir, you guys did this, not us. We just created a space where we're able to get educated.
yeah.
So I would say this, we're going to get up out of here. I would say this, Tiara, like we definitely support our HBCUs. Send your children there, put your money there. And I will say, like, in California, kids that my kids went to school with don't even know HBCUs exist. So do you know there are some places in different parts of the country that don't even realize that they have these opportunities and these options for them. They have no idea. So just bring awareness to this. Can you vote? Like, okay, voting does what? Voting did this. So make sure that we get these motherfuckers out during the midterms, I guess. What?
I don't know. So there's a question in the comments that basically says, but the HBCUs are white owned. What do you say to that?
They're not. They were no, they're not white owned. They A lot of them were founded by white people, but they are not white owned. So yeah, you have like even like Spelman, what Rockefeller was it was the Rockefeller's wife, one of the Rockefeller's wife. It was named after her. They founded it, but they're not owned by white. They're not owned by any one person. But yeah, they were founded by white people. They were founded by some of the abolitionists or the allies. They're still Black institutions that educate Black people, and so that's really irrelevant, honestly, who founded them, because they're not owned by white people. No, that is incorrect.
So there you go.
Yep. So, girl, let's get up out of here. We have another podcast getting ready to come up in about an hour. What are we talking about today?
Oh, because I almost forgot. We are talking about Gen Z. I saw an article that basically said that Gen Zers are being fired in corporate spaces because the managers are calling them lazy and saying that they just kind of move to to the rhythm of their own drum, right? It's the way I see Gen Zers, right? And we're wondering, like, what does that look like for the future? What does that mean? Should we get on par with Gen Zers? Because I just think they see the world different, right? You have like I was gonna say our ancestors, our parents worked hard. They taught us to work hard. Gen Zers like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not about to be sitting up in here for 8 hours while my life is like, I'm not doing that. Right. I
Oh,
would
it's gonna
rather
be a
just
good
get
conversation. It's gonna be a
right.
good
I just want to
conversation.
get online and stream and make $1 million. Right. When I think of like Kai Cenat, they just think differently. So I wonder, is Gen Z lazy? Are they genius? And do we need to follow some of the because they just don't be going. So do we need to follow some of those some of the ways that they think?
Yeah, listen, I have four. So I can definitely speak to this and how they think. It's very, very interesting, and I can't wait to have that conversation, because I'm gonna put all them raggedy ninjas business out in the street, because
Can't wait.
having those conversations are very interesting, and then talking to business owners about their experiences is also very interesting. So this is going to be a great conversation. Somebody said, you're an awesome parent. The fact that your son is searching for to fund his growth shows resiliency and determination, planning from his parents. And I appreciate that. I
I
was telling
said
my
the
son,
same thing. I said it's not a bad thing. Constance said,
I
"What'd you
felt
say,
like a
Constance?"
failure. I felt like a
Yes,
failure.
I said this
I
could be
did.
good.
I
It
did. I
gets
was just like, I was like, let me cook. I told him, wait, don't join yet. Just let me cook. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna have you and Kyron in a minute. We good. Just let me get back. And he was like, Mom, I'm a man. That's what he said. He was like, I'm a
come
man.
on.
And I was like, that made me feel good, because I was like, I paid for your sister's college. He was like, but I'm a man. I'm not her. And I was like, yo, I mean, that made me feel good, but it also made me, because I was like, I didn't prepare right. I didn't do this. I didn't do, I felt, and I'm telling you guys, my vulnerability here is that I just felt like I didn't do right. I'm not hurting, but I don't have $120,000 that I could just put on his college and put on my other son's college right now, as I did in the past. And he's just like, I'm gonna do what I gotta do.
Yeah, I like that. And it gives him a little, I mean, we're talking about Gen Zers today, right?
Yeah.
Um, it's like there's a part of us that don't want our kids to feel what we felt. Like
Yeah.
have to work as hard. We wanted the roads to be paved with gold a little bit so they can just walk into opportunities. But is that right? Is that the way to do it? Should they have a little grit, a little struggle? Should he go to boot camp and have to climb the walls and do the things in order to earn a living? And I think it's a good thing. And maybe you just send them lunch money. Maybe you just be like, if you need something, I got you. But do you have to do the whole thing? And I feel like he'll feel better about it. He'll feel accomplished after he's finished. Like, I did this, not my mom.
100%. And I think that's the thing about him being a man and trying to carve out his own niche and trying to figure things out for himself, because he's been really on this, I'm a man, like,
Come on,
let me
man.
handle my bit. That's who he is, and I could appreciate that, because that's not the example he had. Anyway, we're gonna get up.
Yes. So obviously it's gonna be a good conversation, y'all.
It's gonna be a
You
great.
gotta come check us, huh?
Come check us out in about an hour on Fly Nubian Money. We're gonna talk about, and I'm hosting, right?
You are hosting, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have it's gonna be spicy. So make sure you
Mm.
guys are over there on the Fly Nubian Money at 1 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. And then anything else that you want to share? Any final words?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that you guys, I want to remind you that we have a Black Fly Nubian Money Black Business Directory. So if you could go ahead and put, oh, I'll put it up. Go ahead and email me if you want to add, but make sure that you send me all the information, Black people, because I need all the information about your business. I saw somebody yesterday, they sent me information and it was for somebody else's business, which I thought was really cool. Like, I love this business, add it to your
Oh,
directory. So I'm just seeing a lot of love from Black people adding their people's businesses, their favorite businesses, or their own businesses. So make sure that you email me at info@Real Virtual. And then yeah, just come and check us out at Fly Nubian Money. And then this Saturday, I am
oh,
the
my girl,
proud,
my
yes, I'm the,
dog.
okay, hold on, because I don't have the banner. Okay, I don't have
Oh,
the
we don't.
banner.
Oh, we got it. Don't we got
You
it?
lied? Okay, we don't got it. Okay. So this Saturday, y'all, we are at the Fly Nubian Money Club. We are helping you uh brand your brilliance. Basically, take that natural gift that you have that just comes easy to you, that you like, people will pay for this. Like, I mean, I just do this and then I do that and then I do that and it's done. That thing I want to we want to show you how to make that big business. So I have Dr. Lene Javette coming in to show us
This.
how to brand
She's dope.
our brilliance. And she's, listen, she's gonna write, just make it plain for you, because the struggles that you're having, like the confidence, maybe the issues that you're having with your confidence or knowing if it'll work, we're gonna walk you through that entire process. So join us at the Fly Nubian Money Club, flynubianmoneyclub.com. And yeah, it's this Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific. And then yeah. So
Love
and we
it.
have a free trial. So if you maybe you're like, man, Tiara, I can't afford it. I can't afford the $2.99 or whatever it is for the session. I am now running a 30-day trial. So just hop on. All you have to do is go to flynubianmoney.com. And sometimes we have issues with the with people, they say they get error messages. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Okay.
Beautiful.
Okay.
And then y'all listen, the Grow Your Money Club. You guys are watching Grow Your Money podcast. There is actually a Grow Your Money Club that has over 30 trainings, 30 plus trainings, and one new training being added every month. The idea is to take you from being who you are, which is you're beautiful people, but take you from being an employee to an investor, to have your money start working for you, show you how to really grow your money. I'm blessed because I was able to move to the East Coast, go through a very tumultuous divorce, and transition my business and do all of these things because I have certain investments. I was able to grow my money. My money works for me when I don't have to. And I was basically on a 2-year vacation, literally, for the last 2 years. I've been on vacation. Like, I've been chilling. I've been outside. I've been exploring. But it's because
Hey.
I was able to because I've made some really great investments. And so that's what I teach you in the Grow Your Money Club, is how to navigate through going from being an employee to how do I become a self-employed person? How do I become a business owner? Then how do I become an investor and help my money to make money for me? And
Yes.
so I did a video yesterday, which I'll show you guys one more time when we get out of here, a Black History Month video. And I just put it inside the Grow Your Money Club. So if you want to learn how to create a jaw-dropping video using Chat GPT and CapCut and Midjourney, it's in the Grow Your Money Club. It's part of the Grow Your Money community. So you can go in there and you can learn all the things that I show you about how to do all the things. It's unbelievable. So if you're interested in joining the Grow Your Money Club, go to growyourmoney.club and you can get all the information that you need in order to go to the next level. I think that's it. We're going to get up out of here because we got to go to the next thing. We got to go on our next podcast. But before we leave, once again, I'm going to show you, for those who weren't on in the beginning, the Black History Month spotlight for today. Now, I'm talking about Black Wall Street. Many of you know about Black Wall Street. I didn't want to talk about the burning down and the bomb of Black Wall Street because we all heard the atrocities that happened in. we're talking about the pioneers. I'm giving you 5 pioneers that we're celebrating, that just said, through, all of these odds, we're going to build something great and be resilient. So here we go. Today, we are celebrating the brilliance, resilience, and wealth building powerhouses of Black Wall Street. That's Greenwood, Tulsa. This wasn't just a neighborhood, it was a thriving Black economy built by visionaries who knew the power of ownership and community wealth. Let me introduce you to some of the giants who made Black Wall Street what it was. First up, we have O.W. Gurley, the mastermind behind it all. Gurley bought 40 acres of land and said, "This is for us." He sold land only to Black families, laying the foundation for Black Wall Street. He built businesses, including a successful grocery store and a boarding house, creating opportunities for others to build and thrive. Then there's J.B. Stratford, a lawyer who built the luxurious Stratford Hotel. Imagine that. During segregation, when we weren't allowed in most hotels, Stratford created a top-tier hotel for Black travelers. He didn't wait for permission, he created solutions. And then we can't forget A.J. Smitherman, who used his voice to empower our people through the Tulsa Star, one of the first Black newspapers in Oklahoma. He didn't just report news, he fought for our rights and encouraged economic independence. And then there's Simon Berry, a transportation tycoon. When public transportation failed us, Berry stepped in. He owned a bus line that served Black residents, making sure our community could move freely and efficiently. Lastly, let's honor Dr. A.C. Jackson, a world-renowned surgeon praised by the Mayo brothers for his unmatched skill. Despite his success, he was tragically killed during the 1921 massacre, but his legacy of excellence lives on. These pioneers weren't just building businesses, they were building legacies. They remind us that wealth is more important than money. It's vision, it's courage, and it's community investment. As we honor them, let's continue their work by building our own wealth unapologetically. We are woke. We're wealthy, outstanding, knowledgeable, and empowered. Now drop a Black fist in the comments and share this to someone who needs to know this Black excellent gem.